I was sickened. I was sickened by the standing ovation. I felt like Hollywood is just spineless, en masse. And it really felt like, oh, this is a really clear indication that we're not the cool club.
Jim Carrey, just like millions of people watching from home, saw the exact moment Will Smith walked on stage at the 2022 Oscars and slapped Chris Rock, and he did not hold back his feelings about what happened next. The legendary comedian had some of the strongest reactions out there, and the way he spoke about it left a lot of people shocked. During his appearance on CBS Mornings on March 29th, Carrey told Gayle King, I was sickened by the standing ovation. He didn't sugarcoat a thing. Carrey said Hollywood looked spineless en masse, and that the crowd cheering for Will right after the incident felt like a clear sign that the industry wasn't the cool club it once imagined itself to be. Will Smith had just won the Oscar for Best Actor for King Richard, and the entire Dolby Theater stood up and applauded him, even though minutes earlier he had slapped Chris Rock during the live broadcast. Carrey said the moment made him uncomfortable, especially because of how quickly everyone seemed to move on. He didn't stop there either. He told Gayle King that in his opinion, Chris Rock could have pressed charges and that Will should have been arrested, but Rock chose not to pursue anything. Carrey even said if he were in Chris Rock's position, he would have considered suing for a huge amount just to send a message about boundaries and public safety. Whether people agreed or not, Carrey made one thing clear. To him, the whole situation crossed the line. He explained that it's perfectly okay to yell from the audience if you don't like a joke. Comedians deal with that all the time. But walking on stage and physically striking someone over words? Carrey stood firm that this was unacceptable. When Gayle King suggested the moment escalated emotionally, Carrey pushed back. It didn't escalate, it came out of nowhere. Will has something going on inside him that's frustrated. He also made sure to clarify he didn't hate Will Smith or wish him harm. He even said, I wish him the best, I really do. But he was honest about what he saw. It wasn't a good moment. Carrey felt the slap cast a shadow over everyone's night. Not only Chris Rock's, but also the nominees who had worked their entire careers for their big moment.
Question today about if anyone else had walked from the audience and done that, they would have been escorted out by security or maybe even arrested. The police asked Chris if he wanted to file charges. They asked Chris, do you want to file charges? And Chris apparently said no, he did not.
He doesn't want the hassle. I'd have announced this morning that I was suing Will for $200 million.
And he wasn't the only one who felt this way. A number of actors and public figures said they didn't condone violence and couldn't find a reason to justify it. The day after the Oscars, Will Smith issued a public apology on Instagram. He wrote that Chris Rock's joke about Jada Pinkett Smith's alopecia pushed him over the edge, but he acknowledged he was wrong and out of line. He said he was embarrassed and that his behavior wasn't reflective of the man he wanted to be. He emphasized that there was no place for violence in a world that strives for love and kindness. Jim Carrey never publicly responded to Will's apology. He didn't clap back or add more comments, but he did reiterate how difficult and rare it is to be nominated for an Oscar, and how moments like this overshadow everyone's achievements. Jim Carrey didn't back down from his stance. He said Will's outburst didn't just interrupt the show. It tarnished an entire night meant to honor years of hard work. Carrey told Gayle King, a lot of people worked really hard to get to that place and have their moment in the sun. Getting nominated isn't easy. It's a whole gauntlet of work and sacrifice. One selfish moment cast a shadow over everything. After the ceremony, the Academy released a statement saying they were reviewing the situation. They told Variety, we have officially started a formal review around the incident and will explore action according to our bylaws, conduct standards, and California law. Carrey's opinion that Will should have faced consequences sparked a debate, but then something unexpected happened online. Old clips of Carrey at past award shows resurfaced, and social media users began calling him out. One viral 1990s moment, where Carrey kissed presenter Alicia Silverstone during an MTV Awards appearance, became the center of discussion again. People online argued that Carrey's past behavior didn't line up with the strict tone he took toward Will. Others pointed out that reactions and standards toward award show antics were very different back then, but fans still debated whether Carrey should have addressed the clip more directly. Tweets poured in calling him hypocritical, while others defended him and clarified the details, including correcting misinformation about ages and context, since many viral posts got key facts wrong. Reports from the time suggested Carrey apologized afterward, but the internet debate didn't slow down. Users wrote things like, Jim Carrey says Will should have been arrested. What about that moment on stage years ago? And imagine being shocked by a slap but ignoring your own past behavior. Critics said Silverstone looked uncomfortable in the old clip. Supporters said it was a different era and the moment shouldn't be judged by modern standards. The conversation kept growing when people pointed out that other actors have had questionable award show kisses too, like Adrian Brody kissing Halle Berry at the 2003 Oscars, which Halle later said completely shocked her. Meanwhile, Will Smith's slap continued to dominate headlines as the most talked about Oscars moment in years. Actors, comedians, and commentators weighed in non-stop, most condemning the slap even if they tried to understand the emotional buildup behind it. Despite the backlash, Will still received a standing ovation when he won Best Actor that night. His acceptance speech was emotional. He broke down in tears while explaining the pressure he felt protecting his family and reacting to Chris Rock's joke about Jada's alopecia. Even after Will's apology the next day, the debate didn't calm down. Everyone from A-listers to fans at home had something to say, and the conversation kept spiraling between Will was wrong, Chris handled it professionally, the Academy failed to control the room, Hollywood shows favoritism, Jim Carrey is being inconsistent, the whole industry has double standards. In the end, the slap didn't just become a moment, it became a symbol of how messy, complicated, and emotional Hollywood can get when personal lives spill into public spaces. Plenty of actors weighed in on the Oscars slap, including Jada, who has been extremely open about her battle with alopecia. And Jim Carrey didn't stop at just one interview. In a follow-up conversation with the Associated Press, Carrey doubled down on his earlier thoughts but zoomed out on the bigger picture. He said he sees it as an issue of boundaries, how they're breaking down, and how certain behaviors are suddenly being excused. Carrey explained, people are being given license to act out violently when they don't like what they hear, but he didn't just criticize, he also showed compassion toward Will Smith, saying he understood the pressure Will might have been under. Carrey said he sees similarities in how both he and Will were pushed by fame, ambition, and the non-stop grind of Hollywood. He told AP, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves. We're encouraged to never stop, never be satisfied. We don't pause to say, I have enough or I've done enough. He added that too many entertainers feel the need to do everything at once. Run businesses, star in movies, direct, produce, dominate social media, and even open up their private lives on camera. According to Carrey, this constant push leaves people living beyond their bandwidth. And when you push past your limit, you crack. He said the slap wasn't just about a joke, it was a reaction from someone overwhelmed. Jada's strong, she can defend herself. It wasn't a physical threat, it was someone pushed beyond their bandwidth, thinking about how he looked in that moment instead of what was right. He ended with, I don't condemn him for it, it was just wrong. Because Jim Carrey has been candid about his own mental health struggles, many fans felt his take came from a place of empathy, not judgment. Mila Kunis, who was actually inside the theater that night, later told C Magazine she was stunned by the standing ovation Will received after the slap. Not standing up was a no-brainer. What shocked me was how many people did stand up. People cared more about looking good than doing what was right. Then came Jada's response. She stayed silent for months, but finally addressed the altercation in June 2022 on her show Red Table Talk. She said, my deepest hope is that these two intelligent, capable men have an opportunity to heal, talk this out, and reconcile. She emphasized that the world needs both Will and Chris, and added that she and Will would continue working through life together the way they always have. Will Smith had already publicly apologized, and according to many reports, he and Chris Rock eventually made peace. Rock handled the whole situation with calm professionalism, even though people like Jim Carrey said they would have sued for millions. Now the question everyone keeps asking is simple. Was Jim Carrey right? Was he too harsh, too honest, or just saying what others were afraid to say? Nah! Drop your thoughts in the comments and make sure to like and subscribe for more updates and deep dives. Until next time, thanks for watching.